I co-founded an internet service provider back in the mid 90s, and the web didn't even really exist then. So I just needed to figure out how I could be at the top all the time. And that's kind of how I fell into SEO. So one of my clients turned into a longtime employer. So that's how I ended up doing SEO at the enterprise and for news at Tribune Publishing. So I was at Tribune for 7.5 years, LA Times, Chicago Tribune, 11, 12 daily newspapers. The day looks much like it looks right now, except I'm in pajamas and hunched over the computer. When you earn your money, the reason they pay you the big bucks is when everything goes sideways and you need to figure out something's broken, something is not working correctly, something changed somewhere, and now everything that should be happening is not happening. And then I need to go in and make it happen again.
Hi, Carolyn. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
No, it's an absolute pleasure to get you on the channel. Just give the audience a little bit of background. We met for the first time at an actual conference in San Diego, I believe it was. It was the ESOIC conference we went to, and I was absolutely blown away by some of the things you said on stage, and I took a lot of inspiration from what you said. Even though I really class you as definitely a high-level expert in the industry, some of the things you said on stage really resonated with me, and it helped me out. So I had to ask you to come to the affiliate gathering, and you graciously agreed to do that. So first of all, thank you for doing that. Tell the audience a little bit about yourself, please.
Oh, well, so I started in the industry 100 years ago, like literally, I'm that old. I co-founded an internet service provider back in the mid 90s, and the web didn't even really exist then. So I learned how to build websites and make them for my clients. And then they weren't even search engines. They were really kind of directories with search capabilities came out then. And I, being an incredibly competitive person, I just needed to figure out how I could be at the top all the time. And that's kind of how I fell into SEO. So, my career's kind of meandered a little. We sold the ISP. We were bought by another company. I moved into doing SEO and website management for some medical societies and things like that. And then I ended up going, hanging out a shingle, going into business for myself and taking clients and doing SEO. One of my clients turned into a longtime employer. So that's how I ended up doing SEO at the enterprise and for news at Tribune Publishing. So I was at Tribune for 7.5 years, LA Times, Chicago Tribune, 11, 12 daily newspapers. So that was very exciting. After Tribune, because, print, after Tribune, I went to Disney, and I was working I was leading up SEO for ESPN, the global networks of ESPN, which is very exciting. I was at ESPN for 2.5, 3 years. And now I am back to doing my own thing, which is tons of fun. And I'm just continuing to look for people to help and problems to fix.
So when you say you're doing your thing, a question I've wrote down here, because I'm really interested in this, because I never know what to kind of call myself. And whenever anybody always says, I'm in SEO, it's what's your title? So you just said then doing your thing. So I have a question here that actually fits really well. What does a day look like for somebody in SEO or somebody as yourself? What does a day look like?
The day looks much like it looks right now, except I'm in pajamas and hunched over the computer. So I work at home, which is lovely. And I spend a lot of time in my office, right here in front of my computer, my many monitors. I have a pretty wide setup. It's quite nice, to the point that when I have to work somewhere else or work off the laptop, I feel like I'm not getting anything done. But it is a lot of, just checking to make sure nothing's wrong. So looking at stats, looking at access reports, looking at ranking reports, looking at what should be popping today, what should be happening today, getting the calendar out, making sure that I know when my meetings are. And it is just, I don't want to say it's not, it's boring all the time. It's not boring all the time. Every now and then something goes wrong. And that's really when you earn your money. So when people say, I don't get, anybody can sit around and look at the ranking reports, that's 100% true. When you earn your money, the reason they pay you the big bucks is when everything goes sideways and you need to figure out something's broken, something is not working correctly, something changed somewhere, and now everything that should be happening is not happening, and then I need to go in and make it happen again. It's 90% of the time fairly boring.
It's very similar no matter what levels you're at in our industry. Something you said that, I'm sat here in my pajamas. That probably is 99% of my audience right now is probably sat there in a room just like me, small room, just busy working away, doing their thing. And is the reason why I actually set up the event that I do, because I just thought there's too many people doing that, and it, sometimes it's not healthy to lock yourself away in a room. I spoke to somebody yesterday and he said his girlfriend texted him and said, "It's a lovely day outside." And he said, "Is it?" He hadn't even opened the curtains and had a look. So obviously you've done a lot of things in the industry. You've worked for some big companies. Like say you've been around a while. Don't think you're 100 years old, but you've definitely said you've been around a while. So what does somebody like yourself at the level you're at, what do you get out of going to events?
So I get a couple of things. Number one, I get an excuse to travel. I've never been to York, so I'm very excited to go. I've been to London a handful of times, but I rarely get out of London. So there's the travel aspect, getting to meet people. I do spend a lot of time in my office in my pajamas, and it's nice to get out and talk to people, especially people who are doing what I do. Just, going to the market or running into people at the park, you can't talk SEO with them because it's not a thing everyone understands, even family. I remember my website fell from number 1 to 7 once, and I was beside myself. I was in tears. And my mother is like, what is your problem? And I tried to explain to her. She's like, "Oh yes, that sounds horrible. Here, let's do this instead." Like, you don't understand. But at these events, everybody understands. So there's that feeling of not just camaraderie, but just understanding, like you're with your people. So there's that part of it too. And then also from a technical and practitioner point of view, sometimes I get so into my own head that I don't really, you lose connection with what other people are doing, what people who are doing other industries, other things, how they're practicing SEO. And I like to hear what other people's problems are. I like to hear what they're doing, what maybe they have problems with, and just talk to them to understand what's still going on at different levels. Not everybody's at enterprise level. Not every website is up here. They're all over the place, and there's different techniques and different strategies for everything. And I like having that refresh of hearing what other people are doing.
Yeah, I mean, there's always something to learn, and everybody has something to offer as well. Some of the best snippets and little nuggets of information I've got are from people that you probably least expect that you would have got that information from. Like I say, the presentation I sat in with you, it was amazing. I thought it would be so over my head. I was like, here we go. This is going to be so technical and, so SEO geeky. You're going to lose me. And it didn't. I went away with loads of notes and loads of things that I could put into practice on my own website. So, yeah. One thing I wanted to ask you, the industry is kind of changing at the moment. Has your job role, are you looking at anything differently with, there's AI technology coming out, there's all sorts of things coming out. Has that changed, or are you focusing on anything differently kind of this year, maybe to what you was last year?
I am leaning really heavily into just kind of exploring what the AI is capable of doing and how it might be used to make SEO work easier. And one of the things I was very concerned about was does this open up the possibility that other people now are going to be able to produce automatic generated content that would compete with the human written content? Because obviously that would be bad for newspaper writers. Nobody wants to get replaced by a computer. So I have been spending a lot of time, trying to make AI help me, because I get, it's almost like writer's block. I have a hard time getting papers started, but I can edit like nobody's business. So I've been using it to help me be faster. And then I've been doing a lot of experimentation with, can it adequately write things that pass the sniff test? Are these things going to be useful? How accurate is it? So I really have been spending a lot of time on AI. You know, SEO in general is still SEO. The fundamentals are pretty much the same. So the biggest change right now is just trying to figure out how we're going to fit with AI, how AI fits with us, and how the search engines are going to view that content, because we know they can detect it, but how accurate is their sniffer?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And to be fair, you know, you wouldn't be doing your job if you wasn't investigating how it's going to affect your websites and your clients' websites. So I think we've all got to keep an open mind, but you know, there's a lot of people frantically testing and some panicking at the moment. So I know it'll be a big topic of conversation at the event. There'll be
I
some people
imagine,
for
yeah.
it, some people against it. We do have some experts that are really focusing on AI and have done a lot of work on it and got automated spreadsheets with AI content and all sorts. So yeah, I'm sure it'll be a huge topic. Karen, I won't keep you very long. Like I say, it is only a 10-minute quick catch up. Let the audience know who you are, and hopefully they can reach out to you and they won't feel afraid to come and, you know, ask you some questions when they see you at the event.
I said I don't bite.
No, you don't. I was a little bit afraid, a little bit intimidated to approach you at the event, but I plucked up the courage. It just, when you see somebody who's been in the industry such a long time, for me as a kind of a newbie still in the industry, you're always thinking, I hope they don't ask me that, you know, that really technical question that I'm just going to go, oh, I don't know, I look like an idiot now. So, but I know you're not like that. Like I say, you know, you graciously, instantly said, let me have a look at your event. Let me see if I can make things work. So, you know, I know you're very approachable, which is nice. So if anybody wants to reach out to you apart from at the event, do you want to share your socials? How can they get in touch with you?
So on most of the socials, I'm Seshel, Cshel. So first initial, first name, first four of my last name. Don't add an extra L. Don't get weird with it. That should be me, like on Twitter, I think even LinkedIn. So yeah, just reach out, hit me up, and I'm usually happy to chat.
Yeah, I'll leave all the links for your socials in the description anyway. So thank you very much for being on today's show. I look forward to seeing you. It's just like 4 weeks away, isn't it?
I know.
I know, every day it's just getting closer and closer. So I'm getting a little bit nervous now, but last year was a fantastic event. It was amazing to meet so many nice people. So I think this year's will be just the same. So can't wait to see you. I'll see you in 4 weeks, and yeah, take care, and I'll see you very soon.
I'll see you soon.